Chapter 760. The work continued thereafter. Amidst the numerous communications flooding in the southern branch of the cavalry relating to the events of the previous day, there was also a message from First Princess Myra. As expected, she was deeply shocked upon hearing the news about Knight Radel. I had been quite worried since Sir Radel did not return last night, but I was relieved when I heard the cavalry were assisting in the search. But to think that Sir Radel himself would be involved in such an incident. As soon as Lady Myra received permission to visit the cavalry, she hurried over, her face showing signs of severe fatigue. Like someone who had lost a sibling, she wore a black mourning veil, but her emotions were not completely concealed. Where is he now? We have separated him from the other knights and confined him underground. He is still sleeping soundly. Sleeping peacefully, even though he's a traitor? Well, the traitors from the Conche Baron family also babbled nonsense comfortably, unaware of their own circumstances. Sharpness tinged Lady Myra's voice. She took several deep breaths to calm her anger, then recounted the events that transpired after her visit to the Conche Baron's house yesterday. The Duke's competent knight had already taken measures to ensure that everyone remaining at the Conche Baron's house couldn't escape. Thanks to that, we could have a peaceful conversation. When neither had visited the Conche Baron's mansion yesterday, he thought the absence of people moving around or working outside meant that the original owner might not be there. However, the Conche Baron was inside the mansion, foolishly intoxicated alone and unaware of the events unfolding outside. Confronted by Lady Myra, the Conche Baron rumbled, claiming the southern merchants were just ordinary guests and he knew nothing else. Thinking that Myra had captured the southern merchants and destroyed his house, he even threatened to inform his entire family of her misdeeds. I clearly told the Conche Baron that I knew what he was plotting with those southerners. He might have planned to kill Ashraf than me to eventually usurp the Duke's position. But now that he's been exposed, it will never go as he planned. When I told him that Ashraf's horse and the servant he had taken were captured, the Conche Baron threw a disgraceful tantrum. Regardless of his tantrum, Lady Myra remained unfazed and carried out her intended actions. Her knights, following her orders, investigated the whereabouts of Baron's household members who weren't in the mansion and soon found success. They discovered his wife and children staying at a villa owned by the Conche Baron on the outskirts of Charloin. Many of the servants who originally worked at the main house were also found there. Through their investigation, Lady Myra confirmed that the Conche Baron had intentionally emptied his main residence, sending his household to the villa under the pretext of a vacation to provide a comfortable hiding place for the southern merchants. He was a true traitor who had even sacrificed his own mansion for this purpose. She gathered all the evidence and testimonies and informed the entire Herney Duke's family. The Herney Duke's family, already in shock from the sudden death of the second Prince Ashraf, was overwhelmed by this news. Still, even after experiencing numerous events in just one night and hearing yet another betrayal by a knight of her own house, Lady Myra was not brought to ruin. From the beginning, Sir Radel was neither one of mine or Ashraf's. He acted like a meticulous man who followed principles and was loyal only to the family. But in reality, he was just one of those bats cunningly hedging his bets, always contemplating way to align himself. If Baron Conche had used the southern merchants to kill the second Prince Ashraf, then Radel must have pretended to know nothing, coming out to investigate, watching how the situation unfolded, and playing his part in hindering and covering up the truth. It's good that we have weeded them out on this occasion. Yes, finding those who had killed Ashraf and covering up the evidence is a relief for me. But the thought of how many more such traitors might be in her family sends shivers down my spine. In just one day, she had found 2 traitors within the family. The conspiracy they had concocted was not something that had been arranged overnight, but had been prepared little by little over more than a year, chilling Myra's heart. Even Ashraf, who was always so cautious, had been brutally murdered while out with a servant he trusted. What if Myra had met the cavalry even a day later? She would have suspected them of being the culprits behind Ashraf's murder and would likely not have come to Kishir. Then she would have been swept away in the aftermath of Ashraf's suspicious death, unaware that she was the next target of the traitors. If I had not come to my senses, I too would have been disposed of by now. The uproar caused by Cavalry Commander Kishir and his assistant turning the illegal fighting rings upside down immediately upon arriving in the south had been a stroke of luck for her in many ways. Myra bit her lip and raised her head. Before coming here, I have received news from the Herney Duke's main house. My father, who only expressed displeasure over Ashraf's death, seemed quite shocked by yesterday's events. I think he will soon contact the cavalry through Baron Jacob of Charloin. He was displeasured with his son's death? Displeasure? What the freaking hell? Oh, so the Duke of Herney is finally thinking of making a move? Kishir asked with a smile, and Myra nodded slightly. He has no choice. The illegal fighting ring issue has surfaced. One of the heirs is dead, and suddenly monsters have appeared. If news of the traitors within our family gets added to that, my father will have to step in. We should hope it's good news for us. If the Herney family doesn't want to lose their influence in the south, they have to. I told them in my message to the family that the cavalry had done everything we couldn't, implying that they can't stay back as they have been until now. It was a direct statement, typical of Myra's character. Wouldn't that kind of talk rather anger the Duke of Herney's side? Let him be angry if you want to. My position is not so weak that it will be shaken by that much. I was the one who collaborated with the cavalry to solve this issue, and I was the one who helped with the cleanup in Charloin. The fact that I'm not involved in Ashraf's death had been clearly established, so there is no reason for me to weaken. I must seize this opportunity while I can. After saying so, Myra boldly made her proposal. And now that it's clear the cavalry did not kill Ashraf, please open your doors again and resume your activities freely. There are still illegal fighting rings to be dealt with, and the fools caught from them need to be investigated. I, Myra L. Herney, pledge my name to assist you in whatever way I can. As Myra had predicted, that afternoon, Baron Jacob, the Lord of Charloin, paid a visit. Contrary to his previous absence despite news of the cavalry commander's arrival, as if his past behavior were a lie, he greeted with a respectful demeanor, then bowed deeply in apology. My health has been poor, which regrettably delayed my visit to you, Duke Paleta. I was already aware of the deeds the cavalry has done in Charloin, and I have come, albeit late, to express my gratitude. He was already informed of what the cavalry had accomplished in Charloin. It was baffling that he knew yet hadn't come earlier, but the news he brought wasn't particularly bad for the cavalry. The illegal fighting rings have been a major headache for us, but those involved were cunning enough to avoid being rooted out. I have heard the cavalry intends to investigate those rings to find oppressed awakeners, and we will aid in this task. Though it was absurd, knowing that he and the city guards had colluded with the organizations running these illegal rings, it was a relief they wouldn't hinder future endeavors. However, Baron Jacob's purpose wasn't solely with positive news. After expressing thanks for the monsters they had slain and asserting their own lack of responsibility, Baron Jacob subtly added something more. However, I have heard there might have been some misunderstandings regarding those apprehended in the illegal fighting ring this time. Perhaps could you show some leniency in this matter? I must confess, my understanding is a bit lacking. Were there any among those the cavalry apprehended who were caught due to a misunderstanding? Who exactly are you referring to? Kishir laughed in a carefree manner as he responded. Yeah, these people are just fucking trying to carve those rich noble kids. Kishir, send them all to jail. Confiscate all of their freaking properties.